we're going to have a great conversation here with Alyssa Golob from Helping Paws, because this organization has just received so much awareness in the past year, especially after the passing of Mark and Melissa Hortman a year ago this past weekend. And they were huge supporters of Helping Paws and just brought a lot of awareness to that organization. Joining us now is Alyssa Golob, the Executive Director of Helping Paws. And thank you for your time here.
Yeah, my pleasure.
This is such a great topic because the Hortmans have done so much to bring awareness to Helping Paws and the need for service animals. And I have to believe this was kind of a bittersweet weekend for you.
It was a bittersweet weekend. It gave us a chance to really be grateful and show gratitude to our community as we remembered the tragedy. We had to kind of stand back in it again, which was difficult.
Which can be painful, right?
Someone asked me earlier today even, was it harder to talk about it now than a year ago? In some ways it was. A year ago we were all in shock. It was just coming at us, and we did the best that we could. In this year, I've really gotten to know Colin and Sophie pretty well, Melissa's parents fairly well. It's become a lot more personal. And when something becomes more personal, I feel this responsibility to the family. So it plays heavier. This weekend really gave us the chance to talk about it in a different way, to really talk about it in gratitude to the Hortmans in a way that we really weren't able to last year because we were just in it.
Right. How long were the Hortmans involved with Helping Paws?
A long time.
Yeah,
It
right?
started with Sophie doing a high school project. She needed to do something for her senior project, and Melissa recommended doing something with dogs.
Of course she did,
yes,
right?
Yes, Colin had left for college, and they were close, and Sophie needed a little pet project, I guess, and they got a hold of Helping Paws, and Sophie started training a dog named Minnie. As Sophie went to college, Mark took over and finished that dog. That dog is still in service today with a veteran, and that was the start of the journey. And 4 years later, Melissa wanted a turn and said, I'm going to train a dog. And they're like, really? You know, and with everything going on in your life, you're going to train a dog? But she wanted to do that. And she got matched with Gilbert. And she did train Gilbert for 2 years, kind of quietly came every week and to help train this dog.
And a couple of takeaways there. Number one, I've always learned over the years that if you want to really get something done, you assign the job to the busiest person you know.
100%.
Right?
100%.
And you get that too, being an executive director. I mean, the people who are engaged and involved and got so much going on in their life that they can't do another thing, those are the people that just get stuff
They get it done. They know how to put things in compartments. They know how to add things to their agenda. They know how to keep space sacred. And I believe that that's what Melissa did, and that's what people said, that it was done quietly. This wasn't something that she put on her social media. I'm on my way to Helping Paws today. It was done quietly.
It was a labor of love.
It was a labor of love.
And as I describe with my music involvement, it's my group therapy.
Yeah.
Right? And I have to believe this was a little bit of therapy, maybe even for Melissa.
Yeah.
And famously, she admits that with Gilbert, she failed.
She did. We call that a career change. So Gilbert didn't fail. This was just not the journey he wanted to be on. But I think, admittedly, I would think that Melissa wasn't super sad that Gilbert didn't make it through.
He became a part of their lives.
He became a part of their lives.
And tragically, to pick up the story for those of you who don't know, Gilbert also lost his life the night of the tragedy a year ago, which has led to some wonderful, intentional decisions and what you've done going forward. People came through with donations and wanting to help. And one of the things that you helped us create was the Hortman Heroes Fund. So
Correct.
Tell us about that.
So in the very early stages of all of this, we started to realize we were getting attention. We didn't really think about how big that attention was going to be. But one of the first things I said to my staff is we're not going to fundraise around this. Anything that will happen organically. We will hold the community on our shoulders. We will take in the grief for people. We'll be a place where people can put their grief, as one person shared with me, but we're not fundraising. And so it did happen organically. And this is where people did come to put their grief. And at the end, we were able to raise some significant dollars from around the country, even around the world in the case or two.
Generous donations.
Generous donations. And so soon after that, I got on a call with Sophie and Colin, and I said, what do we want to do? And we decided to name a fund that was already existing that just didn't have a label. It was our Veteran and First Responder PTSD Fund, that we were going to name that the Hortman Heroes Fund. And that's where it sits today, and people can continue to make donations to it today.
And specifically, what does this fund help support?
So this fund will help support the training of our service dogs from birth to placement. We never know what path a dog is going to take. When they're born, we don't say you're going to be with someone with a physical disability and you're going to be someone with a veteran first responder with PTSD. It kind of takes about 2 years to figure that out. But this money will help go to place dogs with veterans and first responders with PTSD.
And you've got a unique program right now, and you're working on a litter of Goldens, and you've got a special name for them. So tell us about it.
Yeah, so they were born about 10 weeks ago. They just went home to their fosters' host homes on May 31st. As we were working through this, we were able to get in touch, or they got in touch with us, one of Melissa's cohorts, a state representative.
In fact, there's the picture right there.
Yeah,
look at all of
they
those
are.
guys.
So
Oh my goodness.
those are the 9 guided by Gilbert litter. We named
And
them after.
that's what it's named, Guided by Gilbert.
Yep. And this was that's Petra. That's the mama dog. She was actually bred with a dog, a male dog from Can Do Canine, so we kept it here in the community. And she gave birth to these gorgeous, gorgeous 9 puppies, each of them with the name that starts with a G. That's how we name our dogs. And we really believe, there they are.
Oh my
That's within the
goodness.
first
Wow.
few days. And that's
Mama right there.
That's
right?
Mama
Yeah.
Petra. And so we believe they're raised in a home for those first 9 weeks. And in fact, the family who raised them were neighbors with Melissa and Mark, and they helped babysit Gilbert, and they helped take care of the dogs that they had in their house. And so it really became this all these just little pieces came together.
And I take it you already have the families lined up who are going to help train these
They
dogs.
do. They went home on May 31st. We sent them each home with their Shine On Gilbert bracelet that we're in a partnership with Embrace Our Souls, who's making these bracelets, and they represent Gilbert. We sent them
All right,
each
hold it
home.
up.
Hold it up.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Model
it's
it to us.
Embrace Our Souls. They made it Shine On Gilbert. The little black here represents his nose, and those are his eyes, and most of Helping Paws staff wears them, and a lot of community members wear them. And we said to these families, you're part of a club that should have never existed, but these dogs, every litter at Helping Paws is special, but there's a heart for these dogs.
Right.
We're going to watch these dogs in different ways.
I want to have us take a half a step back here and talk about Goldens themselves, because that's what you specialize in, right?
Goldens and Labs.
Goldens and Labs. What is it about the Golden Retriever breed? And we used to dog sit for a Golden in our neighborhood.
Okay.
And her name was Bailey, and Bailey still holds our hearts.
Yes.
We love Bailey.
Nothing like a Golden.
There's just something about that breed, especially with children.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
they are
100%.
so gentle and loving with children. And is that the kind of quality that you're looking for in these dogs? And it's just something unique about this breed.
Yeah, you've hit on a couple of reasons why we use Golden Retrievers and Labrador Retrievers. One of them is they retrieve. And so we need them to retrieve items, especially with our folks with physical disabilities. They're picking up phones, credit cards, keys. The second reason is they work for treats. So at Helping Paws, we use positive reinforcement training, and that takes a lot of treats to get them to do what we need them to do, and they respond positively to that. Number 3 is out in the community, just like you alluded to, they're not a dog that many people are afraid of.
Yes.
So there's fears, and
they're gentle.
They're gentle.
Oh my
so if
goodness.
you see this teddy bear dog walking towards you, you might not get the same response as you would with a German Shepherd. Number 4, which Golden and Labrador owners do not like this when I say it, but they can transfer affection unlike other breeds. So after 2.5 years of training with their host home or living at a host home, when they get placed with their person, it's not as hard for them to switch that love to whoever's feeding them and giving them treats that they will follow. So there's not as much abandonment issues. So like for a police dog, for instance, they have to train with that dog, work with that dog, and then they retire
with that officer.
Dog, with that officer, so they cannot continue training with someone else. But a Golden and a Lab can.
Yeah, just wonderful breeds of animals.
They are sweet.
You know, within the past year, you've also had a lot of people who stepped up and said, please, sign me up, right? What a blessing to have.
Yeah.
And how many people, are you still looking for volunteers? And I have to say that for an organization like yours, you never, ever, ever want to say, no, we're at capacity right now.
If we got to that, I would be thrilled. We still have a 3.5-year wait list. We have
okay, wait. A 3.5-year wait list for people to get a dog to train?
That's right. To get a dog to be placed with them.
Right. Oh, okay. Got it.
We have 3.5 years of clients on a wait list. So we constantly have to bring new dogs into the program to meet that need. So the H litter is getting ready to go home in July. They will need host homes. We also, besides homes, have all kinds of volunteer opportunities that make this whole thing work. But going back to what you said, the dollars transformative. We were able to do things that we weren't going to be able to do before the Hortman Heroes Fund started. But most importantly were the people who came forward and said, I want to do what Melissa and Mark did. I want to walk in their footsteps. I want to take a part of my life and give back. And we have had an outpouring of volunteers, but we have to have 6 to 7 litters a year to try to keep up with capacity. So we're always going to need host homes, always need volunteers.
Bring it home. Where can they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of us at helpingpaws.org. Just click on volunteer and you can see all the amazing ways you can get involved with what we're doing right here in Eden Prairie.
Alyssa Golob, Helping Paws, thank you so much.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you coming in. What an uplifting topic to talk about from something that started with a
from tragedy to light.